Good afternoon. Hello, Joe. We are going to wait just a few minutes to see if anybody else wants to show up. I've not shown up at the last, I guess, the 2 times this was scheduled. So here I am. Everything's going okay. I hope everything's going okay with you. I'm finishing up stuffing the names into the flip inserts. So we've got just a few minutes left before I'm finished with that. Let's see what I'm doing. They're live on the screen. It's alive. Chuck stuffing the flip inserts. Oops. There we go. Shows that we've got 3 viewers. I only see 1 speaking up. Got a 1959D roll here today. It's a Seattle branch of the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco. Never been opened. Nobody knows what's inside. Hello, Scott Hall. And Andy. Hola. Yeah, it seems like no matter what happens, if you're putting any effort into your day, you're going to learn something new. I learned something new today. Well, actually, I was taught something new. One of our viewers turned in a couple of coins for me to take a look at because he thought they were a little on the odd side. So I took a look at them. I learned for myself that something John Wexler is known for years, I suppose, and well, I guess I just didn't pay attention to it until now. But if you have 1960D RPM number 113, write this down. 1960D 1MM013 or W RPM 151. Those are the same die. Now we've known that. Well, what we didn't know was that WRPM 151 also crosses over to WDDO 009, meaning it is a double die obverse. 1960D small date, double die obverse. It shows a very thin separation toward the center of the design throughout the first half of In God We Trust. Something we just did not know. We sort of kind of stumbled upon that fact. I looked at the coin, and sure enough, it is a rather minor double die, but it is nonetheless. Also found out today, through study, that now I'm convinced everyone can make a mistake, including the great John Wexler, from whom I learned pretty much everything I know regarding die varieties, or everything I learned at first, and I've since studied quite a bit and learned more. But Mr. Wexler has inadvertently listed the same die twice as 2 different dies. So if you happen to have a 1960D WRPM 005, or what would also be known as Konica RPM number 21, or a WRPM 76. So WRPM 5 or WRPM 76, they're the same die. Same thing. The 76 that's listed on Wexler's website is a earlier die state version of what he has listed as WRPM 5, Konica number 21, copper coins number 21. So WRPM 76 is the earlier die state of WRPM 5, or an EDS 1MM21 and an MDS 1MM21. They are the same die. So now we know anybody and everybody can make mistakes, because, well, I was almost convinced that that was not possible for the earlier generation of RPM and double die listers like Mr. Wiles or Dr. Wiles or John Wexler. But they can and do make mistakes just like I do. So I'm feeling a little more human today. That I know that there's someone else who I have basically worshipped their work for decades can actually make an honest mistake. It does happen. Yes, the small date we're talking about here is the 1mm113. 1mm113 crosses to WRPM 151. And it's crossed to WRPM 151. I found that WRPM 151 is also listed as WDDO 009. So it is a double die obverse. It's a very minor one, but it is a double die obverse. Given that it is a minor double die obverse, that also means that 1mm113 is also a minor double die obverse. As it would work out, that is true. There is truth to that. So I have listed the double die obverse, or I will be listing soon, the double die obverse. So who else is here? Let's see. We've got Scott Hall, Andy Snowville. We've got Farm Dog, Variety Coins and Carnivorous Plants, Doug Reese, Kenny Cross. Greetings to everyone. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I've got all 50 of my flip inserts right here, just as you can see. Let me bring up my screen so that I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Now I can see everything as intended. All right, TNO, how you doing, buddy? Gonna go ahead and open our roll here. This is a Seattle branch, Fed Reserve of San Francisco. Hang on a second. Had to get my trusty tool up off the floor to use it. And here we go, prying open the end of the roll. There we go. Got that end open. Always on the other end of the reveal. Not this time, buddy. You're watching it live. Straight up and in your face. Donna Mac, hello. How are you doing? All right. Wrapper goes over the coins. There we go. There's our full roll of coins right there. What a compliment. And Steel Horses. First guy out in line. Let me bring this down so you guys can see. There's my... There we go. Now we've got that all straight. Let's see what the first coin provides. And what do we have here? Let me get that light a little bit closer. It's kind of hard to see all the details when you got the light so far away. Okay, we've got nothing on the mint mark here. Say hello and welcome to this coin. It is the first time this coin has seen the light of day in over 60 years. 61 years now. This coin's been making its bid to come out of the roll, and finally it has. And we are going to summarily chunk it to the pile because it is not anything special on the obverse. So it could be a doubled eyelid. Let's check the eyelid real quick. Okay, no doubled eyelids. We're going to flip it over and take a look at the other side. And get a heck of a die crack, or a couple of die cracks actually, along the column 11 and column 12. Just for those of you who may not know, we count the columns from left to right just like we're reading a book. There's 12 of them. That's column 1 over there with the die crack on it. And then you've got column 6 and column 7 on either side of the statue. It goes over to column 12, just so you know that. How to read the map of the Lincoln Cent design. Got nothing on that one for steel horses. I'll put that in the flip and move it over to the side. Move on to coin number 2. Coin number 2 will be going to Robert Adams. Let's see what Robert Adams has. Now, so far it looks like it could be a minor split serif. I'm kind of going with maybe no on that, but I'm going to take a closer look at it anyway. And really minor, extremely minor. I think I'm going to skip this for now. We'll look at it for a marker and be sure that we've got what we're looking at the next time around. Let's see. Got a big thick die scratch out in front of the chin. There we go. Big thick die scratch in the field out in front of the chin. So we'll make sure we take a look at this one again next time we run into it. Got no doubling on the obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse. I think I'm doing pretty well today. God, we got big die breaks again here. This thing's just smashed. Wow. Going to be doing... What am I doing? Going to be doing 3 roll reveals today. Get 3 roll reveals in tomorrow before Halloween party and trick-or-treating time comes. Because I got very little faith in our Democrat-run system to entice children to stay inside and play with sticks or something rather than going out and gathering candy from the neighborhood. So I think we are probably going to have trick-or-treating, whether the government wants us to or not. Mike Birchman. Mike Birchman gets coin number 3. Coin number 3 here. And I'm not really seeing anything there. Little die scratch out in front of the eye. And move it over and take a look at the other areas on the obverse. And I don't see anything here. Let me flip it over and take a look at the reverse side. See if there's anything on that side. Do have a couple of double die reverses to be watching for on the 1959 Denver. They're not very strong, but nonetheless, they are worth watching for. So there's our first 6 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then you have the statue, and you've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 6 columns on either side of the statue. We'll talk about some of the other parts. This is called the base, the left base. This is the left base tip. And then the left planter, the steps, the right planter, the right base, and the right base tip, where you have the initials. That's right, better than a sharp stick in the eye. Okay, coin number 4 now. Coin number 4 will go to Mr. Paul Hampton. And let's take a look at the mint mark area on coin number 4 and see what we come up with. Work on my exposure control here and make sure that we've got exposure control set so that it gets the entire area. That is one of the little issues that we keep having with blinking. So we've got that reset now. Shouldn't blink as much. Okay. Nothing on the eye. Appears we've got nothing on In God We Trust. Or Liberty. There's nothing on that side. Let me flip it over and take a look at the other side. See if we came up with anything over here. So another part of the anatomy of the reverse of the memorial cent are the bays. The bays are the spaces between the columns. There's 5 of them on each side. So there's bay 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The statue is in bay 6. And then you have bay 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. 11 bays, 12 columns. So I could say something like north and south die scratches in bay 3, and you count the holes, 1, 2, 3, and it's right above that left planter. I'd be talking about these die scratches right here. North and south die scratches in bay 3. A little bit about the anatomy of the Memorial Lincoln Cent. And coin number 5 goes to Adam Chambers. And seeing some rather nice looking coins here. I mean, the coins aren't in bad shape. Just don't happen to have anything on them that we're looking for. Which would be double die versus repunch mint marks, double die reverses, maybe a high grade coin here and there, you know, some of the things that we would love to have. Got nothing there. Looking on the reverse side. And I'm not catching up on anything here either. This happens to be an earlier die stake coin. You can see that in the sharper outer edges of the letters toward the rim. Plenty of sharp edges out there tells you that you've got an earlier die stake coin. That and the fact that there's not a lot, there's not an overage of die flow lines. Die flow lines equal die wear. It's the same thing. All right, that's coin number 5 now. Looking on to coin number 6. Coin number 6 goes to Tim Morrell. I hope we don't come out with a dud roll. Oop, there's a nice big die scratch right there. It's a crack, actually. Big old die crack right below the bow tie. And no RPM. One of the bigger double dies that you'd be looking for this particular issue would be a lot of extra thickness in the lettering, in the date. The 1959 just looks really fat. I mean, we haven't seen one so far today, but that's just one of the things that you could be looking for. Okay. You've seen this die before. This one has really strong die crack on 9 and or on 11 and 12. And there's a die crack on 1. A couple of die dots between the E and the C there. Now coin number 7 goes to Yeoman. Yeoman Gull. No RPM on this one either. So a lot of RPMs in 1959D. To not get an RPM is kind of surprising. I've seen it before. I mean, that would be my luck, as I get a roll out to do reveals on, and well, there's nothing there to reveal. My luck needs to change. Somebody needs to do the RPM dance for me. Anybody here can do the RPM dance, I would appreciate it. Might come up with something good if we do the RPM dance here. I guess first somebody needs to come up with what is the RPM dance. It's got to be a specified type of stepping that we go through. Maybe we dance around so fast and furious that everyone else sees double. Is that what it is? There's one for Wanda. Wanda Williams. Yeah, it could be a minor lower split serif. It is a minor lower split serif. I promised myself I wouldn't list these just to be listing them. So unfortunately, I don't think this one's going to cut the mustard. It is very minor. It is there, but it's just not really what we're looking for. Let's see what else we have on this. I may change my mind on my review of the roll. I've done that before, but it's not likely. All right, let's take a look at the reverse on this one. A lot of markers. A lot of nifty die scratches, some really big ones too. Really strong ones. But they're not marking anything we need to worry about because there's no double die and no repunchment mark on this particular coin. And move this onto the side. Go for coin number 9. Go coin number 9 for Kelly Michaud. And Kelly Michaud will pick up. Looks like another normal coin. No doubling in the date, no doubling on the mint mark. Looks like no doubling in the eye. Nothing on Liberty. Machine doubling there on the reverse. Pretty good case of it too. And lots of die scratches, but nothing else. That's coin number 9 now. Almost 10 coins into the roll. Still no die varieties yet. What do we have here? Shannon McCord. Shannon McCord to get coin number 10. Let's see what's on coin number 10. Nothing there. Not gonna do it. Alright, let's take a look at the reverse now. If I can find it. There it is. So we also have more anatomy to talk about. The names of the body parts of the Memorial Cent reverse. This one's going to be for Ryan Havoc. Let's take a look at the obverse on that, see what we come up with. Looks like we're going to have a repeat of a die we've already seen, which has nothing on it. Okay. Those parts belong to the upper part of the building. So here, the lower step of the top of the building, we call the cornice. So all of this stuff right here is part of the cornice. And then this guy up here is called the roof. Roof or roof or whatever your dialect of English is. I imagine everyone sees it better when it's in focus. So this is the left cornice. Here. This is the left column tips, left cornice, left roof, and left roof top. This is the ceiling in here. The ceiling is the inner part, those thin lines. And we go all the way across, and we've got that going all the way across the design. So that's what those parts are called. Hello, Bill 457. I have received a few emails in the last couple of days, people asking what happened to some of the coins in the reveals that I've shipped back. And once again, I've got about 50-60 coins that I've held behind for review because they were die varieties and they need to be worked to complete the service of giving you guys attributed die varieties in your roll hunting. So that's where those are. If you're missing any coins, it's likely where they are, but I am going to update the sheet sometime this afternoon, hopefully, if I get the time to do it. I'm going to update the sheet with the coins that I have held for review, and then I'm going to mark all of the others as shipped because I have shipped all of those out. So basically everything from reveal number 183 on up, if you're missing any coins, that's probably why. Because I've held them for review. All right. And we go for the next one, Mike Birchman. We have an RPM. Yay! We've run into an RPM with a minor split on the upper and lower serifs. This will be enough to list it for sure. Let me zoom in a little bit on it so we can see it more clearly. Bring my lighting down. And that puts it in a position where we can see it. Now we need to get it focused so that we can see it. You can see them split on the upper serif and on the lower serif on this one. Hello, Hawkeye. And so that will do it for that. We've got a decent little RPM there. Let's back it out and see if we have anything else to be watching for on this particular die. Maybe a double diaverse or doubled eyelid or anything like that. I don't see anything here. Nothing on Liberty. So let's take a look at the reverse real quick and see if there's anything on the reverse that we should be paying close attention to. I don't see anything up here across the top and sides, so I think we can skip this reverse and move on. This will be coin number 13, the first coin with the die variety in it, and it goes to Mike Birchman. So we're going to be looking at coin number 14 now for Jim Fletcher. What's on the coin number 14 for Jim Fletcher? Jim Fletcher gets, appears to be a normal coin. And unfortunately, it is. There's lots of goodies in there, weren't there, Tim? Do my level best to deliver nothing but quality. Okay, let me flip it over and take a look at the other side. And it appears as though we have a normal coin here. Oh, here comes my mutt up the stairs. Yo, man. Yo, man in the house. Hey, Sherman. What are you doing, buddy? Okay, I've got nothing on this one. There we go. Get that light anchored in there just right. Sometimes it just doesn't like to behave. English or American bulldog? I don't know. He's a Floridian mutt bulldog. We honestly don't know exactly what his breed is. The assumption goes that he's probably part English and either part French bulldog or part pit bull. But we're not on the certain about that. So we just call it for what he is. He's just a ball of snot, slobber, and fat. Okay, got nothing on that side. It's not slobber and fat? Is that what you're full of too? Yeah. We're trying to work his BMI down just a little bit. And it seems still that he likes gummy bears more than he likes carrots. I don't know why. But we're trying to get him to like carrots more. I'm trying to mix them in with some meat. He will eat it. So my dog is a sort of a fan of TVP now. Beans and carrots and things like that. But it has to be mixed in with real meat, or he won't. He doesn't see any point in eating it if it's not meat. Yeah, well. Unfortunately, I don't think he's supposed to know what gummy worms taste like. But he does. Mama gives him a taste of everything she eats so that he won't beg. Because she knows 3/4 of what she eats he doesn't want. Lo and behold, she finds out that if she feeds him even the nastiest stuff, he'll eat it. Because, well, it came off her plate. This one's for Adam Connor. Let's see what we have here. Another one of those really minor lower splits. Baby split on the bottom. Not enough to tickle Chuck's tummy, though. Let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse. See what we can find there. And looking around rather quickly, we don't see anything of concern. We've already seen this die. Remember this particular die scratch going from the bottom of the E to the top of the E. Bottom of the E of 1 to the top of the E of cent. Actually, it looks like it goes all the way across to the N. So, we have ourselves a long die scratch. And it's an old one, too. It's all worn out. Hello, Coins-Arnito. This is particularly a show, what's a results show, so it's not really a place where you register, but I will give you the information. So it's coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. What you do is you register with us by sending your PayPal email address, your real name, and your YouTube sign-on name. Just all the different things that we might be looking for to be able to link you to who you are. Then after you get that done, you are eligible to bid or buy in any of our shows. It's in our shows where we sell the spots for these rolls so that you can get in on this roll reveal. And hopefully get out some nice, good stuff like we do once in a while. This one happens to be not one of those greatest rolls, but if you send us an email, I'd be glad to take care of you and respond to let you know that we've taken care of you and you are registered. Just to let everybody here know, we will not be having an auction this coming Tuesday. No auction this coming Tuesday. It will be the first Tuesday of the month. I do not hold auctions on the first Tuesday of each month. The following Tuesday, though, we're going to get back into doing some more key date coins. I do have at least 3 1931S Lincoln cents that I will be running for auction that day. And on top of that, I will have a number of earlier Lincoln cents. We're talking pre-1930 Lincoln cents that are in nice red condition. That's going to be coming up on, I believe, might be the 10th. It's the second Tuesday of November. I think it's the 10th of November. Found a 61 D over D over D in the row that are for Jessica. 61 D over D over D. Wonder which die that would be. This one goes to Bill Cresson. This is another one of the RPMs. Yeah. This one's got a minor split upper, minor split lower. We've got the die scratch right next to the tail of the 9. We've got the heavy die scratch out in front of the chin. Right out there. It's that one that almost intersects with the 9. There's nothing else on this particular die. Or the reverse. We're going to take a look at it for anything that happens to be of note. You know, like a big struck through, lamination peel, something like that. Don't have anything like that on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the flip and move on. But that's William Cresson, Bill Cresson, coin number 21. So now we've got 2 RPMs, 2 of the same RPM out of this particular roll. It's number 13, number 21. And we move on to coin number 22. 22 goes to Steel Horses. Looks like a normal one. I'd like to start a nice little streak of finding RPMs in this roll. That would be blasted cool. We do have rolls coming up next week. Oh, not next week, but the following week when we come back. When we return on the 10th, we've got rolls coming up for reveals. I've already got them kind of scheduled in, sort of, penciled in. Let's see, we're going to have 210. It's 1954S roll, original roll. We're going to have 211. It's going to be a 1953D plastic tube roll. And then 212 is going to be a special pull. I've got some tubed rolls of 1961D that are just absolutely chock full of RPMs. Lots and lots of RPMs. I have opened 2 out of 17 rolls from this source that I have. And in these 2 rolls, after I finished the 100 coins in the 2 rolls, there were a total of 38 coins that were not special, that were not RPMs. 38 only out of 100. So that made 62 coins out of 100 were special. There were a number of different listed RPMs. Very nice looking coins. So the tubes that these coins came in were in those, they were those ones that you placed it in the Megrig tubes. You place the coins in the tube and put the cap on the tube and then store them in the attic where it's hot, and they shrink around the coins. So you end up not being able to move the coins at all. And I have found a way to get those coins out of those tubes. Very cheap heat gun. Use heat on the tube, practice a little bit, figure out exactly what method works best, and then you can get those coins out of those tubes. Well, these 61Ds are in those tubes, but I'm not going to bore you with the amount of time it takes me to get these coins out of the tubes safely. I'm going to take the coins out of the tubes before we start the process of doing the reveal. That way, the coins will be ready to go. But I will tell you, if I take the coins straight out of the tube and pop them straight into a loose tube so that we can use them, we're going to find that there's going to be a number of nice doubled mint marks in those. Woke up the dragon. Good afternoon, dragon. Good morning, Vietnam. Okay, here's another one. This is another one of those RPMs. So this is the third one in the roll we've found so far. I'll have to go back through the roll and make sure I didn't miss any of them before, although I don't think I did. I sure as heck could have. So this makes a third example of a split minor upper and lower serif repunch mint mark that we've been finding in this particular roll. And nothing on the reverse on this one. This one's going to Doug Reese. It's coin number 25. And we are halfway through the roll. Now for coin number 21T6. Number 26 goes to Yo Mango. Got another show scheduled for this afternoon. Going to be doing another one of these roll reveals. And this next one is going to be a special roll reveal. It's going to be number 203R, which is a replacement for the 1952D roll we did last week that turned out to be pretty ugly. So I've got a new roll of 1952D that we're going to open up. It's a tubed roll I got from a reliable source a while back. I've never looked at it, don't have any idea what's inside. So we're going to bust open this roll of 1952D, and it's going to act as a replacement for the coins that I did not like the quality of a couple of weeks ago when we opened them. So we're going to do that replacement reveal today. Also later on in the evening, should everything work out just right before then, there's silver nitrate, I will be doing the reveal on a 1947D Fed Reserve roll. Actually, it's U.S. Treasury Department. No, nothing there. It's been hit. Thought it was something, maybe something special. It's been hit, so we're going to skip it. This 1947D roll could be very exciting because it was wrapped by the Fed Reserve So it was actually wrapped before it got to the Fed Reserve System. It's the U.S. Treasury. I'm not exactly sure why the Treasury would ever wrap anything, but this one was wrapped in a wrapper, the U.S. Treasury, Washington, D.C. So that should be fun. And then this next week, we're going to take the week off while I get everything together for another auction and finish up the reveals that we've already done, get all these reveal coins out to you guys. So we should all be completely caught up after the end of the weekend. Or after the end of the week, anyway. Coin number 28 goes to Mr. Havoc. And coin number 28 is not one of the RPMs we've been looking at. Nothing there. I flip it over and take a look at the reverse side. Andy, are you able to send a PayPal for reveals? I'm not sure what you're asking. Could you elaborate on that, please, sir? You talking about reveals you have already purchased and you would like to pay for them using PayPal? By all means. If you're trying to pay ahead for reveals that have not yet been offered, I cannot allow that, because all of the reveals are done on a shotgun start basis and sell out generally within about 20 seconds. 15-20 seconds and all 50 coins are usually spoken for. Can't sell any of them in advance and be fair to anyone who is not there in advance. So we do it strictly in a shotgun fashion. All right, that's for William Cruzen. That's coin number 29. Now we're going to move on to coin number 30. Adam Connor. Let's see what we got for Adam Connor here. Okay, again, not a repunchment mark. Nice clean coin, though. This is a nice gem coin. Nothing on it. Let me look at the reverse here real quick. If I can find it. There it is. And nothing there on that one. Coin number 30. Come and gone. Look at now coin number 31. Coin number 31 goes to Adam Chambers. Hope you guys are getting your week of spooky movies in. It's like watching spooky movies around Halloween. Watching the ghost stories and stuff like that. My only two problems with it are that I think the Freddy Krueger movies were too overextended. And they're just not as scary as like the very first one was. Seems like they fed off that franchise for a little too long, as far as I'm concerned. Same thing happened with the Halloween movies. First couple of Halloween movies were really good, and then when they did Halloween 3, and it just went completely off subject. It kind of ruined the entire sequel idea. Halloween 4 came back, and it was related to the other two that started the whole thing, but Halloween 3 threw such a disruption in the middle of all the Halloween movies. It was kind of a bad deal. So they haven't come out with anything recently that I thought was like something really good. I guess there have been a few decent ones, but Jeepers. What's Jeepers, Carrie? Name that movie. I don't think I've ever heard of one called Jeepers. Scary video games? Yeah, I don't do video games, so I just don't have time. Don't have time and don't have the interest in spending all the time it takes to get any good at them. I tried some of them with my son back when he was still living at home, and it became a chore. This is another one of our RPMs. This is one of the minor RPMs that we have been pulling out of this roll, and this one's going to go to Wanda. You can see the little bit of doubling up on the top. And there's also a split serif on the bottom. So you have to change your lighting to be able to see this stuff. There's the top serif doubling. And the bottom serif doubling is a little harder to pick up without turning the coin in a different angle. Here we go. There's your bottom serif. I think I got one of those for Robert Adams in the beginning of the roll, and I set it aside. I did not set it aside, so I'm going to have to go back through, of course, and pick out all the ones that I missed. Generally, it's going to be because I waffle between whether or not it's something I would list and put in the system, or whether it's not something I would list and put in the system, and I end up waffling back and forth. I see the same die. I know it's there, but only about half of them end up coming out of the roll because of my indecision. Called Jeepers Creepers? How old is Jeepers Creepers? Is it something I'm going to find on Netflix? Or am I going to end up having to try to find a movie theater or something? I also really like a good mystery. I like good mystery movies. The whodunit type stuff. Kind of get clues throughout the movie as to who might have done it, and then the plot twists right toward the end. I love those movies. They don't make enough good ones anymore. There's 2 Jeepers Creepers movies. Okay. I'll have to take a look and see if I can locate one. If I can, I think I might just move tonight's reveal to Sunday. Because, well, today and tomorrow are my 2 favorite days of the year. The pre-Halloween and Halloween scary movie night. They leave so little to the imagination. The movies they're making now. Sam Hain. Sam Hain is another one I should be watching. Hang on a second. Let me write all this stuff down. So I tend to forget this stuff. I ask you guys questions. I get great answers, and then I forget to write it down. Okay, so this is the wrong kind of piece of paper to be writing on. I'm writing on an invoice. I don't want to do that. I get my note paper. Hang on just a moment here. Oh, I can't believe I had to go to my base cabinet for a piece of note paper. So Jeepers Creepers. Sam Hain. Okay. The New Year. Is The New Year another movie I should be watching? Another spooky one. Children of the Corn. That was a good one. That was a good one, except I have seen it so many times now, it just doesn't do anything for me anymore. I really, really liked the heyday of Stephen King movies. Back when he was coming out, well, when they were adapting his books to half a dozen movies a year, it was really cool. Carrie was first, and then there was The Body, which became Stand By Me. Not in that order specifically, but you had The Langoliers, you had The Long Walk. There are a number of his stories that were adapted to movies. Stories that I read and enjoyed reading. Salem's Lot, that's right. Salem's Lot was another one of them. Gosh, I'm forgetting some of them. Tommy Knockers. There were a couple of them that were really good. Pet Sematary. Hellraiser. I don't know that I've ever seen that. Is that one I should be watching? Is it going to make me wet the bed? It's going to make me wet the bed. I can't watch it. The War of the Worlds with Orson Welles. Was it October 30th? I was unaware. Tomorrow is the anniversary of Houdini's death. He died on Halloween. This is the one I've been pushing back on. I may end up listing it after all, but I've been pushing back on it. Just got the reminder for the next reveal. Yeah, I think I may have been a little quick in making judgment on that. I'm going to have to move it. I've fallen off my timeliness on these things, and I'm unable to do them in the amount of time that I used to. So I'm going to have to move it forward and then push off the one for tonight to Sunday, it appears. The one I'm going to push off is going to be the 4:30 one. The 4:30 one, I'm going to move it to 5 o'clock and do it. And then after that, I'll go eat dinner and spend some time with my wife before nighttime. Been staying up way too much at night, not sleeping enough at night. And then I get up at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, groggy and unable to process thought. I need to stop that habit. All right, here's coin number 40. Coin number 40 goes to Mike Birchman. And we have already seen the gambit of different dies that we're going to see out of this roll, I'm pretty sure. So it looks like we've got one relatively minor RPM that we're going to end up listing in this roll. And then there could be a second one that I might give in and decide to list. I might not. And then we'll have that other reveal coming up in 1 hour. We'll go ahead and do it at 5 o'clock. We'll do the 5 o'clock presentation of the... Oh yeah, this one's going to take some time. It's going to be the 203R 1952D roll. I have to get the names out from the original reveal. See, this one's another minor. It's the same die again. Same names for the original 203 will be mixed back into the shuffle for this 203. I'm not going to pull them out in the same order. I'm just going to make another name card. It's going to be the same for everyone. New coins, new flips, new roll. Just happens to be that it's going to be all the same slots, all the same people as the last one. All right. Paul Hampton now. Got a normal one. Unfortunately. Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte with Betty Davis. Man, that was years ago then, wasn't it? Back in the 40s or 50s sometime. Sometimes movies like that are the hardest ones to find. Coin number 43 goes to silver nitrate. And let's see what silver nitrate comes up with. Not one of the RPMs. This die was diagonally polished. I've seen it a few times. A lot of machine doubling. Seeing a fair amount of machine doubling coming out of this roll. Alright. Let's see. Coin number 44 now. 44, Tim Morrell. No RPM this time. No hub doubling on the obverse. Nightmare on Elm Street was Freddy Krueger. Jason was Friday the 13th. Now on to number 45. Got Kelly Michaud. It's another one of those diagonal polished die. Now coin number 46. William Bill Cresson. And we got a nothing here, unfortunately. I think Momo was going to make some soup tonight, so that means I have to run over to the grocery store. In fact, I know that's the case. We're going to have to push till 6 because I have to go to the grocery store. I just remembered that. See how my brain works? Okay, so I'm going to reschedule number 206, 47D, to Sunday. And then 203R, I'm going to reschedule to 6 p.m. today. 6 p.m. today, not 4:30. 4:30 is what it's scheduled for now. But we're going to move it to 6. I'll try to find it. Try to find this coin. There we go. There it is. Yeah, I'm going to have to make a run over to the store. That's going to take me 20-30 minutes at least. Then I'm going to get prepped for the reveal, eat dinner, and then do the reveal. So I'm going to push it forward to 6 o'clock. Not finding a whole lot in this roll. It's kind of disappointing, but I mean, it's still a decent roll of coins. It is an original roll, so we get what we get. That's the way these tend to work out. Sometimes that's really good, and sometimes it's, well, a little depressing. But I tell you what, if these RPMs came out of every single roll, and if they were all just loaded full of RPMs, we might be happy for a little while, but the value of our collection would drop significantly because, well, they wouldn't have any monetary value if they were that common, that easy to find. It wouldn't be worth anything. Okay. This is going to be one of our minor RPMs. So it's got the big die scratch out in front of the chin, right there, right out in the middle of the field. And it's going to match up with all the other ones. This one goes to Robert Adams. It's coin number 49 in the roll. And after this, we have one coin remaining. I really liked Halloween back when Halloween was really good. But I think they stepped out of bounds. They just made too many of them. That, and they also used the same name to produce a movie that was completely unrelated. It was the one where the masks are... There was a advertisement for masks that were giving people seizures or something. I don't remember what it was. It was possessing little children or something. It was just kind of stupid. And that was Halloween 3. It was like, why would you make a movie and call it a sequel and have it be a completely different story? No relation at all. No JLC. No Mike Myers. I just killed it. All right, folks. Well, unfortunately, that does it. We have a rather sizable stack of normal coins here. Right there. And then for the die varieties, they all should be the same die. They all appear to be the same die. We've got coins numbered 49, 33, 25, 21, and 13. There may be others that I didn't catch this time around, but they're for Mike Birchman, Bill Crescenton, Doug Reese, Wanda, and Robert Adams. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and shut down so I can do my grocery store thing and get prepped for our next reveal. I'm going to go ahead and change the time on it now, and then we will be back together at 6 p.m. That's just under 2 hours from now. I'll talk to you later, and thanks for coming by.